Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome along back to the Ruthless Schooner, where either you are ruthless or you will be replaced. We got a packed show for you today for the next hour or so. We're going to talk a little bit about why this manager is ruining a generational pool of players that we could actually do with for the final stretch of the season. Max Dowman not being used, Ethan Nwaneri sent out on loan because Arteta doesn't know what to do with him, and Miles-lewis Skelly rotting away on the bench, but yet again proving in the under 21s and under 19s that he can still do a job in midfield. But what this manager believes he's the cock of the walk. So let's just go with that, shall we? Make sure you smash the like button, guys, and make sure you are hyping the video and you are subscribed to the channel as well. Let's get to the 100 subs expeditiously, very, very quickly, shall we? Tomorrow night we will be doing the reaction to the press conference known as Smoke and Mirrors. So please make sure you go check it out for that as well. And we will also we're not going to do a live reaction, it'll be more of an upload to the result against Southampton. Hopefully it's in a much more better form. We'll talk about the Southampton game tomorrow as well. But today we're going to have a little bit of a chat on why is this manager not utilizing his squad to the degree that we need him to, especially with the likes of the three people I'm going to throw out there: Max Dowman, Ethan Nwaneri, and Miles-lewis Skelly. Now, I've had this conversation with our good friend Gianni. Be up to Gianni. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you are subbing to Gianni Talks Calcio channel. Absolutely brilliant. He's knocking on the door now to 400 subs. So let's get him there very, very quickly. I look at the way this squad has been developed. You need youth. You need new blood coming in from the academy. You need to have that. And what I am struggling to get my head around is the fact that Dowman is a 16-year-old kid and he is not showing off, but showing up everyone else on the pitch. When you've got a guy that's that talented with his passing, with his creativity, with his vision of the game at the age of 16. 16! I'm sorry, I know I sound like Will McKenzie off the In-Betweeners, but you get my drift, right? The kid is just so unbelievably talented. But yet this manager refuses to keep on playing him. That cup final against Manchester City was a pivotal reason why we couldn't have turned it around. And as a result, we barely see Max. The last time we saw him properly come for cameo appearance was against Everton, and he literally pulled the magic horseshoe out of our ass. That's what we had to do. You look at Ethan Nwaneri. Arteta doesn't know what to do with him. Sent him out on loan. We've got some statistics to prove that. Miles-lewis Skelly rotting away on the bench because apparently Arteta deems him as a left back, which we know he can play a job in midfield. You could play against some of the lesser teams in the midfield, but this manager seems to know. But this manager seems like we're going to get into it as well. I'm going to play you a little bit of a clip. I've actually clipped this up, right? And we're going to deep dive into it. So anybody who knows GOONERS Therapy. There was the realist GOONER, who I would very, very much happily like to sit down and have a good chat with because he is a realist and he understands the situation. You got positive Dan. Oh my God, he said some rubbish. But compared to what this Anton guy is, the Fire the Cannons podcast, by the way, you better be very, very careful that if he gets big, he may be in for his lawsuit come his way because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers use that slogan as well. And they're much bigger than him, mate. So just clarify that for a second, right? They talked about Max Dowman, and Anton basically said that he would not, I repeat this, he would not be playing Max Dowman now till he was 18. And I just have a hard time of believing it. We got some people in the chat. Brenny's in the building. Big up, my bro. Are we good? Afternoon, Calm. Big up to the awesome chat. Please like and share and subscribe to the Return of the Jedi. I'll be very honest with you, Brady. I am not a Star Wars fan, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Big up at PFC TV. Big up, mate. You are good. Carl and Shane collab in Dublin. I'm not based in Ireland, mate. I've never been to Ireland before. The only time I ever go to Ireland is if the New England Patriots are playing an NFL game at Croke Park. It's the only time you'll ever see me in Ireland, probably, mate. And the cup final toss that we already know, Arteta does not trust youth. He doesn't trust youth. So I'm going to play this clip for you guys. I'm going to have to stop it every now and then to not get through down the copyright situation. Well, I want you to have a look at this, and I've added something at the end because I can't believe what this guy said. So sit back, grab a beverage of your choice. Doesn't have to be alcoholic. Beverage of your choice. I'll just take a sip of mine quickly. Yeah, see, my tank has returned. Missed it. Let's go.
So it says, Anton, why not play Dowman? You'll be moaning that we had injuries to Saka if he plays in FA Cup. The thing about Dowman, again, is I've seen players who, when they start way too early and their bodies aren't ready for the week in and week out and grind,
Wayne Rooney.
Players.
So he's been stopped right there by Real Skill, basically saying he's going to say the likes of Wayne Rooney, Lamine Yamal, and so on. If you've got it in you at the age of 16, then you should be able to continue onwards. I mean, I don't see, I don't see how that even makes sense, how that even matters, to be fair.
You mean Yamal?
Well, Yamal, we'll get to see. Yamal is still at the top of his game, but even Saka himself, he's 24 years old, and people are telling me that he's falling off.
Well, he is falling off. He is falling off. He's had his hamstring surgically repaired back onto the bone, for Christ's sake. Of course he has. So at what point do you just sit there and go, oh yeah, he was good, and now everyone's saying he's fallen off? Well, he has fallen off. He was great to start with. He was very, very good. Don't get me wrong. But when you overplay someone that talented and that young, and you overplay him, there's a good chance they're going to struggle. You only have to look at what happened with Michael Owen. Just look at what happened to Michael Owen. And, it speaks volumes. It generally speaks volumes.
So do we want to be doing that to Max Dowman? You have to base Max Dowman as a player who was a great player. Even at 16, is better than ability-wise than most players in our team. He's a break.
He's the only one who can make fans stand up out of their wheelchairs. That's how good Max Dowman is, mate.
Glass for emergency only. So when we had that Everton game and we were struggling to break Everton down, we desperately needed a goal, just and a difference maker, just to win that game. Yeah, you bring on Max Dowman, but am I starting him in an FA Cup game where I know that there's a lot of pressure on it, considering our most recent result? Like if we lose to Southampton, like
already making excuses already for the manager.
I know exactly what you're going to be saying, Dan.
The point of the matter is with Dowman is that he saved our bacon against Everton. He doesn't come on
save your bacon,
and he should have been brought on in the FA Cup. Why wasn't he brought in the FA Cup?
Here's the thing, though, guy. Here's the thing. Yeah, it's okay. He can come on as a sub. I'm not saying that he should be starting in games. If he should be starting, he should be starting like the lesser games against the lesser team, not against any of the bigger teams that we already know of. The thing is, though, you got to try and put him out on the bench. You got to try and take him off the bench all the time, because he is that spark that we need. That Everton game was a prime example. For 70 minutes, we were dead on our ass. It was dead. It was dull. No excitement. It felt like a morgue in the Emirates Stadium. And as soon as Dowman come on, you saw the crowd lift. The noise went up another level. And then the players started to perform better. Why? Because they know that the baller has just arrived onto the scene. That is how good Max Dowman is. Big up to AJ. Hope you're good, mate. Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right, guys. Thank you very much, mate. I tell you what. Where are we? Where are you? Can I? All right, there you go, AJ. You've been given moderation, mate. You've been given moderation back. You were one of, it was like 3 people that should be mod. So you're in my mods, mate. So thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. Let's get back to it. But yeah, Max Dowman, he is break glass in case of emergency. But the thing is, though, you got, you're in the rough end of the season now. You've got to start throwing shit at the fan now and hoping it doesn't come back on you.
Start in the FA Cup now.
Why didn't you?
Yeah, you just said he wouldn't start him in the FA Cup. Why? It's Southampton. Yeah, away to Southampton is a dodgy fixture. But come on, man, you're telling me you wouldn't play Max Dowman in an FA Cup against Southampton? Yes, they've won. I think they're undefeated in the last 10, 11 games, but they're still in the Championship for a reason.
Come on. Why didn't he come on in the Carabao Cup final? Don't you think?
He should have.
Should have come in the cup final, yeah, but that's on the manager. But those two in the top right and the bottom, you know, they want to make excuses, so whatever.
He should have come on.
So
but I'm saying, bring him a break in case of emergency. That was an emergency. We didn't do it.
I think he can start.
You don't think he should start against Southampton, Anton? What are we doing there?
Max Dowman should have come on at half time. City were getting the stranglehold of us in the back end of the first half. I'll tell you, I should have gone in there 0-0 for that. I need to make some changes here. Max, you're starting. I'm going to take whoever it is off, Havertz off, and we're going to start building again. You know, that's how it all should have been done. But no. Once again, this manager is reactive rather than proactive.
I think no. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for then? What are you waiting for? When can he start then, Anton? In your ideal world?
Next season.
Oh. I think he should be starting next season, man. I think he should be starting next season. Well, the only way he's starting next season is if this manager is gone, because this manager's not going to trust him. He doesn't trust you. He won't trust even Nwaneri, and he won't trust Miles-lewis Skelly. So what are we doing here? Generally, what are we doing here?
Next season, really.
Because he's 17 in December. Yeah?
Yamal won a European championship.
Yeah, but
16 or 17.
Look, with Yamal, we don't know what his future looks like.
Lamine Yamal right now is the best player in the world, and correct me if I'm wrong, did he win the Ballon d'Or this year? Sorry, last year? Someone in the chat, so look out for me. Did Lamine Yamal win the Ballon d'Or? Did he win like the youth player award or something? Because if that's the case, then it's not going to be long before he wins the Ballon d'Or. He's the best player in the world right now. The best player in the world. Messi's passed the torch to Lamine Yamal. He is that good. He is just that good. So to say you don't know what Lamine Yamal's future is going to look like, Lamine Yamal's future is going to look like the best player in the world. Hands down. Baller.
We don't know what his future looks like.
We do know what his future looks like.
I don't know if Yamal grows up and by 24 he's burned out.
Nah, whoa. Okay. So he said by the age of 24, Lamine Yamal could burn out. Right. There's a reason why he plays for Barcelona, because Barcelona, they don't really know how to defend properly, but what they do know is how to slice anybody open, go in attack. They know how to slice anybody open. When they go up and they're like 3 or 4-0 up by halftime in most of the Liga games, unless it's against Real Madrid, Atletico Bilbao, Villarreal, all the main ones and so on, right? As a result, they could take their stars off. Lamine Yamal could come on he could play for an hour and they could take him off for the remaining half hour. That's what you call rotation. This is why Lamine Yamal is so good, because although he plays to such a high level, he also doesn't get burned out because his manager takes him off when it's the right time to. If they were struggling to get a goal, I'd say like a 1-0 or 2-1 down or something, okay, you have to keep Lamine Yamal on. But when you're blitzing teams like 3-4, 5-0 by an hour mark, common sense being able to take him off. That's how you keep the product of the player. That's how you keep him at a high level. Big up by Brenny. Big up AJ and PVS TV. Big up Brenny every time. Big up AJ. Thank you, mate. Thank you for sharing the stream, mate. Okay.
Don't know that.
Listen.
At the moment, right now, it looks amazing.
Just stop it, Anton. We've got nothing in our team like Max Dowman, and for me, with us trying to win this Premier League, I'm not taking no more risks, and I'm starting him. That's what.
As I said, Realist GOONER is someone I can actually sit down for an hour and have a good heart-to-heart conversation with about this football club. At least he's got his head screwed on. Big up to you, bro.
So the thing about starting, I always like starters and finishers.
Game in the Premier League, Dan.
I'll be starting him against Bournemouth. 100.
Start against Bournemouth. If you want to keep Saka healthy, yeah, I probably would. Yeah, at this point, you've got to do something different. You've got to do something different here. You can't keep relying on Saka. What are you going to do? Play Odegaard and what are you going to do? Move Martinelli from the left to the right. He's there for a reason. Play Dowman. It's not that difficult.
But I'll
No.
be playing him in certain games for sure.
100%.
Bournemouth
With Eze
definitely
being
not.
injured.
Bournemouth definitely not. Oh my fucking god! You can tell he's you can tell he's freaking American and he lives in Australia. Jesus Christ, he does know his ass from his elbow. This guy.
Who are you going to be playing in the hole? Who are you going to play in the hole?
Well, Odegaard apparently is back.
Odegaard, really? The guy's been shit for 2 seasons. The guy's been awful. Now Captain Fantastic is coming back. You now think he's going to be starting again. In the Southampton game, I expect so. But you could still play Max Dowman on the right wing as in a front three. You could still do that. What are we doing here? Odegaard will be starting. Jesus Christ on a bike.
So I'm starting the captain, and it's his responsibility to help lead us
I
to the
think
Premier League
Southampton,
title.
you should definitely start. And if he plays well, he might earn a start against Bournemouth. That's facts. He doesn't make us any. You know, I think he could.
I mean, look, if there was any game to start him, it would be that. I just wouldn't start him in any game. I think he's a sub, no matter what you do.
He's a sub no matter what you do. To a degree, yes. But you're also trying to help Saka. Saka's not good. He's not fit. He's not fit. Why do you think all these Arsenal players got sent back from international duty? Not because of the fact that Arsenal recalled them. It was because of the fact the national coaches and their medical team took one look at the players and goes, no, back on the plane you go. You're injured. You're injured. It's just common sense, man. Top Gooners agree with every decision Arteta makes. If he starts down in the next 3 games, they are fine with it. If Arteta doesn't bring him on in the next 3, it is fine. Top Gooners, man. Shake my head. Yeah, exactly, Brenny. Exactly, bro. Exactly that, mate. And big up to AJ, who has linked Brenny's channel down below. So yeah, go. Yeah, if you can pin that link, please, AJ, that'll be grand, mate. Thank you very much. Brenny, I would start Max in the 10 the rest of the season. I would as well, mate. Because you know who else would have been in the 10? Ethan and Nwaneri. I mean, you could have Ethan and Nwaneri in the 10 and Max Dowman playing as a right winger in the front 3. Can you imagine that sort of service? Feeding Gyökeres as well. Just saying, guys. Just saying. Ain't got much left of this anyway.
Like he started against which one was it? The Mansfield Towns, because the level of opponent was lesser.
So that's your excuse? Oh, because we play Mansfield now, we play Max Dowman. Jesus Christ. Max Dowman assisted a goal against a Premier League side, Everton, who are a top 10 Premier League side. What is this guy waffling?
I think Southampton is a team that's the top of the championship.
Correction, they're not the top of the championship. That'll be Coventry City. I think it's Coventry City. Give me a sec. I think it's Coventry City. So either Coventry or Middlesbrough. Someone let me know. Here we go. Coventry are first on 80. Middlesbrough second with 71. Then you've got the playoff spots. Ipswich on 69. Millwall on 69. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hull City on 66. And then it's Southampton on 63. And then outside on goal difference is Wrexham on 63. Derby County's on 60. So, no, Anton, you absolute buck. Southampton are not top of the championship. They are sitting in 6th. The only fundamental kick up to that is they have, I think, the last 10, 11 games they're undefeated. But that's against championship level teams, not Premier League. There's a fundamental difference to it.
You know
16.
how
16.
There we go. Stop the nonsense, Anton. Just please stop
trying
it, bro.
to protect my players.
No, you're trying to protect the manager, mate.
You ain't got to protect him, bro.
Generational player.
You ain't got to protect him that much.
An amazing generational player that is going to get destroyed by this manager because A, he won't play him. B, when he will play him, it's going to be to what Arteta wants, not to the strengths of what Max wants.
I'm not starting him regularly in games until he's 18.
Oh, God. Exactly that. Exactly that. Jesus Christ. What are we doing here? Max Dowman. He's an absolute baller. He is an absolute baller right now. And I don't care what anybody says. He has to start play. He has to start playing on a consistent basis. He even has to be starting some games. The Southampton game on Saturday, I want Max Dowman to start, because otherwise it's just a wasted opportunity. Why would you not do that? You're playing Southampton. It's not that you're playing Man City or Liverpool or anybody like that. Yeah. Then you take him, then you put him on the bench, when you bring him on afterwards, right? But you're playing Southampton. FA Cup quarter final. You were 90 minutes away from going back to Wembley. I know it should be on a neutral field. I'm old school. I would rather it be at Old Trafford or at Villa Park or somewhere like that, right? Because it's a neutral field, right? But it's just bewildering, absolutely bewildering right now. Yeah, Brenny's already said I would start Max in the 10. Yeah, I would as well, bruv. I would as well. It's getting stupid. It's getting beyond stupid. Dowman needs to start games. It needs to start coming on frequently. We've got 7 games to go in the Premier League season. We've still got the Champions League. I'm not saying start Max in the Champions League. That's a bit too far for me. But if he's got it, maybe. But yeah, Premier League and that. Even if we got the luck of the draw, we beat Southampton when we played the winner of, I don't know, Leeds or West Ham, I would probably still play Max Dowman in that semi-final then as well, because you're playing against a lower ranked team. And then in the final, then you put him on the bench, and then you bring him on when shit is the fan again, probably against either Liverpool or Man City. Don't know. I'm tired of this. Dowman needs to start big time. Right. Let's move that from the studio. Right. Let's move into our next bit. So what I'm going to bring up for you, Ethan and Wembley stats, right? So Ethan's been sent out on loan, right? He's been sent out on loan. And I want you to look at this. So this is League on 24th of January. He played for 58 minutes. So I think he came on I think he I think he came on. I think he either came on or was a sub. What was it we do? Started 11. He started 3 games, substituted in 4 of them, on the bench 2, suspended none, injured none. Right. So Lons, he played 58 minutes for. They won 3-1. 67 minutes he played 2-2 against Paris FC. Only played for 45 minutes, but they got battered by PSG. He was on the bench for Strasbourg. Lost 2-0 to Stade Brestois. Is that Brest? Might be Brest. Lyon for 27 minutes, but got an assist in that game. He was on the bench for Toulouse. AJ Augier, I might have botched the name, sorry. 1-0, he only came on for a minute, so I think he was subbed on, I think. And then they lost 2-1 to Lille. He got a goal in that game with 57 minutes. So he has been starting for games. He has been performing. But I want you to look at this. This was prior to him leaving to Marseille in the Premier League. On the bench against Man United. Played for 52 minutes. Leeds won. They beat Leeds 5-0. On the bench for Liverpool. Lost. He played 72 minutes against Forest. Won 3-0. He played 6 minutes. I think he got subbed on. 1-1. Well, 1-1 against City. Newcastle, not in the squad. I think it was due to injury. I think he had a knock, I think, but we still won 2-1. Right. West Ham came on 15 minutes, won 2-0. Bench. 18 minutes against Burnley. Bench again. 2 minutes on against Tottenham. We were 4-1. I mean, look at that. Bench. All of these here, from Chelsea all the way down, is when we started to go down with some serious injuries. And Arteta just decides to not play him and flog him to Marseille. Send him out on loan to Marseille. Yeah, George Graham and Arsene Wenger would start down. Yeah, Brenny, they would, mate. They absolutely would. Same here. Max to start and feature doing the running. Yeah, they would. Absolutely would. So you look at that, all those games. I'm missing on the bench on consecutive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the bench, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 not in the squad. This was in January, by the way, and he didn't play that game until the 24th against Lens. And just look at it. There were 2 draws there. Back-to-back draws. You sure he could have done some help there? He was on the bench against Aston Villa. You lost 2-1. You not think that would have helped? It's just mental. Just absolutely mental. You know, I've always had a lot of respect for young players coming through, but when you just get thrown on the dead woods pile because the manager can't get the best out of you, that's a serious issue. That is a major, major issue. I'm sorry. And to just look at that, look at all those yellows and reds. It's just not available. Not in the squad against Newcastle. How many games did he actually start? It didn't even start. Didn't even start a single game. Substituted it on 6, on the bench 11 times, suspended, none injured, none. He was injured. He was injured. I think that was a game he took a knock, I believe. But that's just mental. That's just absolutely mental. And then you go into the European Under-21s. Okay? All these games here. 76 minutes, 2-0 against Kazakhstan. 90 minutes, 4-0. Got 2 assists there. 78 minutes, 1-1-0. 90 minutes, 1-2-0. 68 minutes, 1-4-0. Also scored a goal as well. Drawed 1-1 against Andorra. 54 minutes played. And then at the end of March, they beat Moldova 4-1. He scored 2 goals on 74 minutes. So he is playing. He is playing at a consistent rate. Did they in the Champions League all? Bench, 17 minutes against Atletico, so that was worthless. 65 minutes played, 3-0 against Slavia Prague. On the bench against Bayern Munich, of course, he is 19 minutes against Club Brugge. And on the bench as well. Attacking mid. He plays centre forward for Tottenham, which was a bit of a weird one. All of these are all attacking midfielders. And the one thing we're struggling with is an outlet. But that's why we bought Eberechi Eze. But do you not think Eberechi Eze should have been staying in the 10 all of the season? And even when we should have been sitting behind Eze and then them two rotating, so Eze doesn't go around down injured. Remember, we don't have him now for another 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. It's criminal malpractice from this manager. It generally is. It's just sickening. It's just absolutely and utterly sickening, right? You move on to Miles-lewis Skelly, okay? Lewis Skelly is one of these players that he will always perform. He will always perform in this, okay? Why have you messed up there? Oh, never mind. I just look at the way this is going about. Wow, big up, mate. Hope you're good, mate. Hope you're good. Big up, chat. All good and that. Yeah, listen, with Miles-lewis Skelly, it's a cautionary tale for him. It's just a cautionary tale for him, frankly, because he doesn't come off the bench and he absolutely struggles like crazy. Absolutely struggles like crazy. So far in this season, the 2026 season, he scored no goals and no assists. He played 312 minutes. Average rating of a 6.41, has got 3 yellow cards. Now, if I go into his actual statistics of what he's had so far in the Champions League, let's have a look. He was on the bench against Atletico. Look at his position: left back, all the way through. All the way through the Champions League. He played left back, 90 minutes for Olympiacos, 90 minutes against Atletico, 17 minutes against Slavia Prague, 68 against Bayern Munich, 90 against Club Brugge, 90 against Inter, and 90 against the, I'm going to say Borat FC because I can't pronounce that Kazakhstan's team name. He was on the bench for Leverkusen and he came on in the 1-1 draw in the first leg. And then he came on for 1 minute in the Leverkusen game. Absolutely ridiculous, right? In the international friendlies, against Wales, it was on the 9th of October. 3-0, left back, only come on for 10 minutes, did nothing. In the Premier League, so far this season, I'm bringing this up. This is You know, this is absolutely shoddy to say the least. Generally is. Where are we? There we go. Miles-lewis Skelly. Look at that. Just look. 18 minutes to come on for against Man United. 26 minutes to come on against Leeds. Look at the position. I just want to look at you, the positions. On the bench against Liverpool, didn't play. 22 minutes against Forest, 1-3-0. On the bench, 2 minutes, 15. On the bench, 2, 1. On the bench, 1. 45. Okay, so we're getting somewhere then. He played 45 minutes. He played 45 minutes against the draw against Chelsea. 4 minutes against Aston Villa, lost. 59 minutes against Wolves. That's his second longest so far. Brighton, 71 minutes he played at left back. 13 minutes on the bench, 33. And then look what's happened here. On the 17th of January, the exact same day that Ethan Nwaneri played his final game for Arsenal before going out on loan. Look at that. Bench. Not in the squad. Bench. Started one game. Substituted 13 times. On the bench, he was 16. Didn't get suspended once or injured once. Ethan Nwaneri, you sent out on loan. So then why didn't you move Miles-lewis Skelly? You need rotation for him and Rice, and obviously that's why you got Christian Odegaard. Don't get me started on Christian Odegaard. He's only had 8 starts all season. He's contributed to less than an hour of playing time in the Premier League. He started 3 games in Champions League and started 2 in the FA Cup and 3 in the League Cup. He hasn't started in the Premier League once, right? But with Lewis Skelly, why are you not utilising him? He doesn't have to be an attacking midfielder, but you play him as a deep line playmaker. That's why you're supposed to rotate with Declan Rice. Miles-lewis Skelly should be saying to Declan, let me go under your wing, teach me what you know, and then when it comes to you returning, then we can start rotating properly. That's what Christian Odegaard's all about. Or, because now Ethan Nwaneri has now gone out on loan, why don't you say, okay, Eze, let me sit behind you, and when you're ready to come off, let me step on. And so that. I just don't get it. I just do not get it. The lack of rotation in this squad is absolutely bewildering. You can say all you want regarding Jesus for Gyökeres and Trossard for Martinelli and Martinelli for Trossard and Saka for Madueke. So, but they're the same subs, the same like-for-like subs. How about blending some of the new youth we've got coming in? Because at some point in time, we're also going to want to see these guys in the next season as well. We want to start seeing them perform. And we haven't seen that. We generally to God have not seen that. So as a result, it's embarrassing. Just go back to that game with on the bench 16 times, substitute on 13. He's made one start. One start in the entire of the season. And that was probably against one of the, when did he start? What was the one game we started? Was it Premier League or what? I don't think he didn't start in the Premier League, so he must have started in and we started 2 games in the FA Cup. Of course, he was at left back, of course. 15, yeah. Oh, that's it. 4th round against Wigan. He started at left back in the 4th round against Wigan, not in the squad against Mansfield. Chaotic, just chaotic. This is fat Arsenal women since the start of last season. 144 different injuries. Arsenal women in the same time frame. 27 different injuries. Yep, not much difference, AJ. MLS leave for Alexander and I trust me going to say this. If you get Diego Simeone in here, then we'll piss the league next year. I'll say it right now. If we get Diego Simeone, we'll piss the league next year. There's no way you can have all this talent around you and still not win anything. You really can't. I'm worried we're going to lose MLS. MLS, I think potentially we could lose. I think I potentially lose MLS. But I also look about it in another way that with Ethan, I can see Ethan going as well. Because this man doesn't know what to do with him. This manager simply does not know what to do with him. If Diego Simeone is happy to work with Berta again, get me to our club. Well, hopefully. I know they had a bit of a fallout, but you know, a lot of water's gone under the bridge now. So, and also you got to look at this as well, AJ. If Atletico Madrid win the Copa del Rey, and Diego Simeone has won everything there is to win for Atletico. Okay, I don't think they won the Champions League, but I don't think they won the Champions League, but they won a Europa League. So they've won a European competition. They've won all the domestic cups in Spain. They've won La Liga, obviously. He's got nothing there left to do. So why not bring him in? Why not bring him in at all? Yeah. And just carnage right now. I feel so sorry for MLS. I feel sorry for Lewis Skelly. Really, really do. He deserves so much better. So much better. He would thrive somewhere like, I don't know, like a West Ham or a Brentford, somewhere like that. He'll get his position and he'll thrive. He will thrive there. Okay? He will absolutely thrive there. Let's come out of that. Right. Oh. Share screen. Where are we? Right, here we go. Talk about injuries, shall we? Let's talk about injuries. Well, first of all, this guy's an absolute knob, right? Because this is basically what happens when you try to gaslight people and thinking that, oh, might have sustained a knock. Oh, he might be okay for the Southampton against that and the other. When we all know there's lots of players that are crooked. There are lots of players that are crocked, right? Same argument about Luis Enrique. He already won everything he can at PSG, and on his own words, I would love to work in England one day to go buy him off PSG. The thing is, though, mate, listen, I love Luis Enrique. I think he's a fantastic manager. I think he would, I think he'll piss the league with Arsenal as well. But the thing is, though, they're trying to build like a dynasty, if you get my drift. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It all depends how... I don't want to use my name here. It depends how ruthless you want to be. Depends how ruthless this football club wants to be. Be ruthless or be replaced. 6 likes. God, wow, that is so bad. Let's get to 10 likes, guys. Let's get to 10 likes by the end of the stream, right? So let's look at these Arsenal injury by the hand of Arsenal, or the hand up his own arse of Arsenal. Disclaimer. All timelines are subject to change depending on the nature of the injury, rehab, and recovery process. Okay. Yeah, I get you. Thank you, AJ. Martin Odegaard. Apparently, he's returning to Southampton on Saturday night. So pushing me back for Southampton. Arteta to make a final call this week. So tomorrow, when we do the press conference reaction, smoke and mirrors, join me for that. I'm not sure what time it will be. Sometime at night. We'll have a look on that. But Odegaard, I don't want Odegaard anywhere near the club. If I'm going to be very, very brutally honest with you. Really don't. Julian Timber also aiming to be back for Southampton. Arteta press conference, body language experts needed. Julian Timber is crocked. He is on fumes right now. Personally, I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't start him against Julian Timber. I wouldn't start him against Southampton. I'll be very honest with you. Declan Rice. My understanding, which basically means you're guessing, was he has been carrying a knock pre-City. Sent home on the advice of England medical staff. Will not be shocked if he is rested this weekend. Well, let's hope he is. Let's hope he is rested for this weekend, because we're going to need him in the Sporting game and against Man City and probably against Bournemouth as well. The following Saturday. Bukayo Saka. Red zone fatigue. No, mate, he is done. This rest has come at the perfect time. Okay. Sent home on the advice of England medical staff. Wait to see how he trains this week before Arteta makes a call for this weekend. Nope. I don't want Saka playing full stop. I don't want to play him full stop. Honestly, there was a strong line to go 423 against Southampton this weekend. Yeah, I think you still need to put some blend in. You still need to. I would still put Mosquera in there. I would still put Christian Odegaard in there. You got to try something different here. Martin Zubimendi, minor knee discomfort. So basically, he has a knee injury. Assessed by Spain medics and sent home for recovery. Another one, I wouldn't be shocked if he is rested again. Okay. So what are you going to do? Are you actually going to play Lewis Skelly in his actual position this time? I actually going to play Lewis Skelly in that position this time. Pierre Hincapié, I'm told it's a minor knock, and the player is taking the precautions to rest and recovery on the advice of Ecuador medical staff. Still in rehab for a lower leg. Sorry, that's Pierre. Minor knock. I don't want to see Hincapié play, but if Calafiori is actually out injured, then I'm not sure who we're going to do. Not sure who you're going to do on that one. Card, in my opinion, Saka needs 6 months off if he ever wanted to get close to what he was. I think he needs to take a whole bloody season off, mate. He's just signed a brand new contract. I would say, no, I'm resting you for the entire... I'm shutting you down for a whole entire season. Because you need the rest. You seriously need the rest, kid. You really, really do. Edward Eze. Player is still in rehab for a lower leg injury. We already know that. There is some optimism he could return earlier than the original timeline, but one to monitor once he trains on grass again. So what to do? Is he training on sand? Is he training on concrete? Is he training on AstroTurf? Well, what is he training on? What is he actually training on? What is this guy fucking waffling about? If I had my way, the midfield 3, I would play for the rest of the season. Rice 6, MLS 8, Max Dowman 10. Yeah, wow, that's an English trio. That's an English trio you've thrown out there, AJ. Jesus. Calafiori injured. He finished 120 minutes against Bosnia, so he was fine then. Oh, okay. So probably Calafiori will play then. God knows. I know, mate. God knows indeed. He won't be playing until after the Man City game on April 19th. I think he'll return back at the same time as end of April. As they return back end of April, and hopefully we're still in the title race by then, because we can't afford, we can't afford to lose them and so on. And last bit, Max Dowman. I'm told he was sent home from this guy, man, taking the wholesale piss of the situation. I'm told he was sent home from his PE lesson by Steve, the supply teacher. The overlap could possibly do a whole segment on it. Who knows? What an absolute dick you are, mate. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yeah, he might be fine now, but he still needs to complete pre-match warm-ups, so 40% chance of playing. Yeah. Knowing this manager, well, he probably will end up playing. He probably will end up playing. Oh, and to top it all off with injuries, look at this. Gunnersaur's have been recalled to Arsenal from international duty at Jurassic Park due to a thorn in his right paw. He is due a medical examination as well. So, yeah, even our fucking... even our mascot is going down with injuries now. We can't catch a break. We can't catch a break. Do you know how much of an idiot you have to be to freaking injure your own mascot? But anyway, I digress on that one. Just madness. Absolutely solid madness. At what point do you just look at this and go, this manager just can't rotate his squad. He cannot rotate his squad. He is not in a good he is not in a good way right now. And yeah, it's just madness. Just absolutely madness. This season is almost over and done with now. We've got just under 2 months before the season is over and done with, okay? But I'll say this right now, okay? And I want to make this perfectly clear to a lot of people, okay? If Arteta only goes on to win the league, this is where I draw the line with, okay? If Arteta wins the league, he could stay, but I won't be renewing his contract. I will not be renewing his contract because it's okay now. You've got to if you do win the league and you've now got to the top, it's a different kettle of fish staying up there. So what I would say to Arteta is this: congratulations on winning the league, but now we need to stay there. I am not renewing your contract. Next season, I want you to retain the league and win something else. So win one of the cups or go and win the Holy Grail. We'll go win the Champions League. If you win the Champions League and another cup, then we'll give you your big boy contract. We'll give you your 4 or 5 year contract. You could do that on either way. But if Arteta turns around to me and goes, no, I want this contract here and now. I've won the league now. I deserve to win it because I've now won the league. Okay. Well, here's a check. 15 million. There's the door. See you later. We'll go and get a new manager in. That's what it should be. Failing to win the league this year, because I know the Champions League, I don't think we're going to struggle. I think we're going to struggle. I think Barcelona will take us out. And the FA Cup, I mean, if we run into City again, there's a good chance we could lose that game as well. So it's league or bust from this point forward. It is league or bust from this point forward. At some point, you just got to look at it and go, you can't continue to rely. This is why I played that video. This is the sort of arrogance and ignorance that we're dealing with on this fan base on a daily basis now, more like an hourly basis now. It's just head scratching. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the situation, guys. Really, really tired of it. Because of the injuries I have, he could win the treble. I would still want him sacked. Yeah. I understand why. DJB said it very, very plainly as well. It's short-term success for long-term pain. I understand that. But you made it this far. You've made it this far. If we scrape through, then I'll be thinking, yeah, maybe I can see where you're coming from there. But win the league, he doesn't. Here's the thing: I'm not saying sack him, but I'm not saying I don't want to give him a new contract. But I'm not going to sack him either. The reason why I say that is because if you go on and win a major honor, which you haven't won in 22 years, by the way, then theoretically he should be able to continue on because he has won the league. He has won the major. It's what we asked for at the start of the season. I know we can look back on hindsight and our expectations change and so on, regarding of where we were in the cups, final of the League Cup, with the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, we could potentially reach the semi-finals of the Champions League and so on. And you look at that and you just think, yeah, we should have won more. But all that is all going to be a what-if scenario. But if he doesn't finish it off and doesn't win this league, then all of this has all been for naught. £1.3 billion down the drain. £1.3 billion down the drain. And I'll say this as well. There's only one manager that has actually gone past 6 and a bit years and won a league. And he doesn't go down as one of the greatest managers in Premier League history. He goes down as one of the club managers in history of football. Sir Alex Ferguson. He arrived in Manchester in 1986. He won that Premier League, the first inaugural Premier League trophy in 92-93. It took him 6 and a bit years for him to win his first league trophy. He could have got fired 2 years prior to that because in the 89-90 season, the Man United were an absolute mess. They were a glorified mess. But they were in the final of the FA Cup. And if they didn't win that FA Cup, there was a good chance Ferguson probably would not have started the dominance. That FA Cup delayed the inevitable. It delayed his sacking, delayed his firing. And he proved them right 2 years later on by winning the Premier League. And then the dominance started. But yes, they had the class of 92 coming up as well, who are quality. So you look at that and go, that's what you should plan out to be. That is what you should esteem to be. Every other manager has either won it in 1, 2, 3, or 4 years. If Arteta doesn't win this league, he will be known as the manager who has spent the longest time and the most money winning nothing, let alone winning a Premier League. He'll be in the record books for all of the wrong reasons. This is why it's legal bust from this point forward. Because the Premier League could keep him on. It'll be then if he kicks on or he crashes and burns. And that's what we'll find out somewhere down the line. I could tell you all for free because of the injury we will have the season Liverpool had on the clock with Jordan Henderson at centre-back, so fighting for top 5. More than likely, mate. More than likely indeed. More than likely indeed. And listen, I'm going to be incredibly brutally honest with you. I am having my doubts. I am having my doubts with the way the season's gone. Fergie won 4 cups before the first league title in 93. That gave his players the hunger for more. Thank you, Brenny. Exactly. But it was the 18, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was the 89-90 season where they were struggling, and they had the FA Cup. They were in the final of the FA Cup. If he didn't win that, it's in his I think it's in Ferguson's biography actually, and they said that he was on thin ice. If he didn't win that cup, he probably would have got sacked after that. And United wouldn't have had their dynasty. They wouldn't have had their dominance. So this is what I mean. You have to win stuff so it just prolongs it. So it actually helps your cause. And the more you do that, the more it makes your life so much more easier. At what point is enough enough? I was saying for the League Cup final win that we win the Prem as well. But if we didn't win that, we win nothing. So hopefully I am wrong. Bro, I actually said to my best mate, I said that League Cup is a pivotal game. It is a pivotal game. Win that, it's a springboard to go on and do better for the rest of the season. We lose that game, tying up your seatbelts because it's going to be a rough one. City will then have the momentum to now push on. Yes, okay, they're at the Champions League, but they're still in the FA Cup, right? Okay, they're still going to play Liverpool. I'm looking forward to watching that game on lunchtime on Saturday, by the way. They're still going to play Liverpool, but overall, they've not got the wind in their sails. So, yeah. Pep won the first 4 League Cup available to him to win in his City squad. Yes, mate. That's what I mean. The League Cup is there. I think he won that like 2 or 3 times in a row before we went on to start winning the FA Cups and the leagues and so on. It might be the smallest trophy, the more meaningless one out the lot, but it's still a trophy at the end of the day. He's still preceding himself. He's still preceding himself in winning, for Christ's sake. So overall, sorry, just looking at the channel quickly. So overall, you just got to continue to look for it and so on. You just got to continue to progress. But this manager hasn't progressed. Progress is in the way whereas in the players have been and they've increased with the players. Fine. But overall, it's still failure in the day. I'm a Patriots fan. We made the Super Bowl. I can say we've had a great season because we weren't supposed to make it. I can't say it's been a successful season because we didn't win the bloody Super Bowl. And I know it's a different kettle of fish because the Premier League, because in English football, there's 4 trophies to win. In NFL, there's only 1 trophy to win, and that's a Lombardi. And, there's a bit of fundamental difference to it. But at the same time, it's just mad. Absolutely sobbing mad. But yeah. Brenny, 100% mate. 89-90. Fergie would have been sacked. United were minutes away from losing to Palace and then won the replay. Exactly that, mate. So this is a fine line between greatness and being greatness and failure. And this manager has been nothing but a failure. Nothing but a failure. So yeah. Just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Guys, we're going to wrap this up here. Shane is about to go live in literally 1 or 2 minutes time. Top Gooners comparing Arteta to Silva is just criminal. It is criminal, mate. We'll have a bit more of a deep dive on Top Gooners on another show, bud. But we're going to send you lot over to Shane. I can't redirect, so just say what is my name? Don't worry, I'll get used to it. Ruthless Gooners. Put Ruthless Gooner raid in Shane's chat. Send them in your way, and they're giving you love. And I will be on the Bruised Banana tonight. I am so excited to be back there. I'm there with BBK, who I have never been with before. Shane Gooner as well. Jez is going to be there. Normski. I can't wait to have a chat with Normski. I was in his chat yesterday on his show, so big up to him. Make sure you subscribe to Jez, and make sure you subscribe to Normski's channel as well, and BBK's as well. For now, we're going to get on out of here. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm going to leave you something I created. Not sure if YouTube are going to do me for this, but I think I might have got away with it. So remember, guys, be ruthless or be replaced. Good night, guys.